viewers and Iron Man fans, I come before you today to review this, which is the Iron Man 3 Arc Strike Mark 47 figure. And here it is in its packaging, which I don't particularly like because, while it does show off the figure very, very nicely, at the same time, there's no protection for the figure, so there's no transparent piece of plastic across the front here. So that means that the figure itself can get damaged very easily, even when it's still in its packaging, so that's a massive drawback for me. On the positive side though, if you do take a look behind the figure itself, you can see that great design of Tony's secret Hall of Armour that he keeps hidden underneath his Malibu mansion in the movie itself, so that's definitely a plus. I like that little design motif because it runs through all the Iron Man 3 toys packaging, so definitely a plus there. Now when it comes to the rest of the box, it's all fairly generic here, it's what you come to expect. So you've got the Iron Man 3 logo across the bottom here, with a picture of the Mark 47, Avengers Initiative logo right there with Arc Strike Iron Man written in several languages. It does take 3 AAA batteries, but fortunately enough those are included, and it is for 4 years and up. At the top corner here you've got this weird picture of the figure itself in this really bizarre pose. It just looks strange, and it does come with 2 motion activated battle modes, which is always a plus, and then you've got the little try me option here that shows off its sound and light effects. Now for the rest of the packaging, it's all pretty much the same thing, so just a load of pictures of the figure itself and the Mark 47. And if you take a look there at the back, you've got some pictures of some of the other toys that are available in this range. So that does it for the packaging. Now let's move on and take a look at the toy itself. Okay, so here we have the Mark 47. Detail-wise, what else can I really say that I haven't said about the Mark 47 already? It looks okay. I mean, you can take a look at this helmet there. The paint job on it looks pretty much alright. I mean, you know, you've got the glossy red there mixed with that kind of, you know, it's like a dull gold, it's like a more muted gold, and then again you can see bits of silver, metallic silver coming through there as well at certain points in the armor itself. But apart from that, there's nothing really much more I can say about this. You can see all the little individual sections of armor there, and it all looks, yeah, it looks pretty nice on the front. Where it does lose points is around the back, because the amount of screw holes on this thing is absolutely ridiculous. Look at this. You know how much I absolutely despise screw holes. I hate battery compartments, so you've got this big battery compartment here with a massive screw hole in his back, which I really, really don't like at all. And then to round it all off, you've got this try me and on switch here. There's not even an off setting here really, so it's just try me and on, and that coupled with all the screw holes in that big battery compartment makes the back look very ugly, but the front, it's just okay. Taking a look at articulation, the head can nod up and down, it can't move left and right or even spin the full 360 degrees. At the shoulder here you've got a joint that allows the arm to come up through 180 degrees and back down again. Then on the actual hand itself, the wrist can move through 360 degrees. Then taking a look at the legs here, seriously, there's no other articulation on this figure. So that's literally all this figure does. Its head can nod up and down. There's a 180 degree twist here at the shoulder, 360 degree twist at the wrist, and that's it. There's no ab articulation, no waist, no hip, no knee, no foot, absolutely no other type of articulation here whatsoever. Genuinely, that is dire for a figure like this. Seriously, that is pathetic. Wow, that is disappointing. I mean, I feel so low now. I need to see something awesome just to pick me up from that. Yeah, that ought to do it. God, I love Shane Black. Anyway, taking a look at this figure's features, you would think that to activate his lights and sounds you would just press this little arc reactor on the front here. Well, no, that's not the case. Instead, you have to press this little blue button here on his hip, which is kind of bizarre, you know. I mean, like, why wouldn't you just continue the trend of having the button be his arc reactor? Oh, I don't care. Anyway, let's press this button and see and hear some of his lights and sound effects. So the sound effects are fairly generic, as you can hear. There's no sampling from the actual movie itself, so there's no dialogue from Robert Downey Jr. or anything like that. At the same time, the actual sound effects we do get are fairly generic, so you can hear some flight sound effects, you can hear some vague sound effects of some of the repulsors going off and things like that. And then there's some sounds that sound like a computer booting up or something, but there's nothing that really, for me, screams Iron Man. As for the light effects, yeah, they do look pretty good. I like how they're using a blue LED this time over an orange LED, which makes it more movie accurate. I like how the eyes light up as well as the chest RT. I love the fact that the repulsors light up again. We haven't got that from a large Iron Man figure in quite some time. And on top of that as well, I like that Hasbro have taken the liberty of adding more light effects around the chest RT, so there's not just the chest RT lighting up. It does make it a little bit less movie accurate, but at the same time, it appeals more to kids and makes them have a lot more fun. So, on the whole, the sound effects are just alright, and the light effects are pretty good. The figure also offers a flight mode, which is activated by just basically tilting it horizontally. So as you can hear there, you get some sound effects of him blasting off, as well as some light effects there of his chest RT and his eyes lighting up. What's weird about this is that whenever you do have it in this mode and say like you move it around and stuff, it doesn't make any additional motion activated noises or anything like that. It is literally just that one blast off noise, and then again whenever you set it down vertically, you'll see his head returns to looking forward again, and you just hear that basic sound effect of his feet just basically landing on the ground. Which is kind of bizarre. I would have liked it had it been in flight mode and you hear some flight sound effects or something like the Mark III repulsor power figure from the first movie. However, a good thing about this is the fact that his head will actually tilt up and down again whenever he's in flight mode, because this is the first Iron Man figure where his head has actually been able to tilt back, because the one issue I've had with all the other Iron Man figures is that, like Iron Man, whenever he's flying, he has to tilt his head back to see where he's going, and all the other Iron Man figures, you can't tilt his head back, so it's a little bit awkward for kids during play. So if anything, I appreciate the fact that they've made his head actually look up so he can see where he's going now whenever he's flying around. And doing a size comparison here, you can see just how big the Mark 47 figure is whenever you compare it to the 10-inch Iron Patriot figure, or even the little 3 3/4 inch Mark 42 and Iron Patriot assembler figures. So overall, what do I think of this toy? Well, it's not great, is it? I mean, the detail on the front of it does look pretty okay, but the back of it just looks like a genuine train wreck. Don't even get me started on the articulation. I think it's awful. I mean, sure, the head can actually rotate back, and that's a nice change, but at what cost? Because, I mean, like, the legs, like, can't move at all. It's like literally one figure, one solid mold from the neck down to the feet, and sure, the arms can kind of rotate a little bit, but apart from that, it's just genuinely dire. The sound effects are okay. I would have preferred maybe some sampling from the movie itself, so we got a few quotes from Robert Downey Jr. or something, just something really, but instead, no, we got a lot of generic sound effects. The light effects do look quite nice, but they do take some liberties with screen accuracy of the actual suit itself. And overall, I really don't like it. I've been literally racking my brain trying to figure out what saving grace this toy could possibly have. And when I think about it, all the Iron Man toys in this kind of scale over the years that have been released have been steadily lacking in quality each time. So if you look at 2008's Repulsor Power 12-inch Iron Man, it was bigger, it had more articulation, it had the light effects, it had the sound effects, it had firing missiles. Flash forward to 2010's Iron Man 2 and the Mark 6 10-inch figure. The only light effect it had was on its chest RT. The sound effects weren't too good either, and it didn't have any firing missiles. Then flash forward to last year's Avengers Mark 7 figure. It didn't have any light effects at all, and it was a little bit poor. But flash forward to today and this Iron Man figure, and while the articulation has gone through the floor, at least we've got some of the light effects back, so that's definitely a plus. And again, I have to admire the fact that the repulsors light up, which is something that we haven't got since the 2008 Mark III Repulsor Power Iron Man figure. So at least we're going in the right direction with some aspects of this toy, but in other aspects, the articulation, we've taken a huge back step. So for Iron Man 4 coming out, or the Avengers 2 coming out, I'd love to see an Iron Man figure at this size, which has these light effects, maybe some improved sound effects, but overall a heck of a lot more articulation, because whenever I have this figure up on display, whenever I have all my Iron Man figures up on display, I have them, with their arms extended, firing repulsors looking in that direction, and I can't really put this figure into that pose because its head doesn't rotate properly, so that's a massive letdown, and even when you think about the fact that its repulsors light up too, it's a serious letdown. So again, for a future Iron Man movie or even an Avengers movie, whenever Tony Stark appears in his magical suit of armor next, I would like to see so much better articulation than this. But for now, it's time to end this review, so thank you very much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, there's countless more reviews online. Thank you again for watching, and remember to keep following the nerd. Goodbye.